Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. That's a people day. Make him a throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen him. Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day they can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You must go and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man, go and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Out of the same mouth that Andrew Holness wants to fight climate change, wants to declare a global war and gangs, it is also out of that same mouth where Andrew Holness is using a begging bowl. One mouth says, fight, 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 and the other mouth says, give us money to let us fight. Isn't that what you are getting from Andrew Holness? Declare war on this, declare war on that. Ask yourself the question though, what does Jamaica as a country has to offer in these great initiatives that our Prime Minister is calling fight, 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 fight? But will the Prime Minister be able to throw a stone? Is a question. Jump and sound over so. Yes, you lot who call yourself mainstream media, the Prostitute Association of Jamaica, pack up and go on home. You all have failed. You have all failed when it comes to informing the public and asking the relevant questions in society. Jump and sound. Gleaner, me lose half for you. Gleaner, lose half of the jump and sound ism where you over there play. You mean say no journalist in Jamaica wants to ask the relevant questions of the Jamaica Constabulary Force? Ask the relevant question of the government crime policy? Ask the relevant question of the silence of government and the security service and this matter? The question of the opposition, silence and the matter? I mean, that's what media does. Gleaner, because never mind them lot other over there. But it's what we expect from the Gleaner, is to ask the questions of the government that is the forefront of the people's mind. But the Jamar story, nobody is writing about it. Nobody is talking much about it. It's like everybody wants us to sweep what we have come to know under the carpet. Everybody wants us to sweep such a threat to us as a people under the carpet. We're not talking about it. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Let's do a bit of housekeeping. Tomorrow morning, I won't be on because I have an appointment with my cardiologist tomorrow, which comes into the slot of my show. So we won't be on tomorrow morning, but certainly we will be on tomorrow evening. Alrighty. So we won't be on tomorrow morning because we have appointment, but certainly tomorrow evening. There's still a flood warning over the country. One big good evening, everybody. How no do? TikTok and YouTube, everybody. Good evening and welcome. Thank you all for being here. The flood. We're calling it Andrew Holness's flood for a particular reason. And it is where we must press Andrew Holness on accountability for the fund that was in the road maintenance fund when he scrapped it. We must also hold Andrew account, given that he holds the office, for the lack of maintenance for our drains and gullies over the last 9-10 years. Now, I'm not sitting down here and saying it's the first Jamaica have flood. I'm not also sitting down here and saying that our drain and gully problem not exists before the last 10 years. Yes, they do. What has happened within the last 10 years is that nobody has thought to bother about them. There's a major lack of maintenance over the last 10 years. Hence, we see the build-up of water because the water have nowhere to go. So that's why we're calling this flood Andrew's flood, because it's a part of Andrew's reckless deed. It's a part of Andrew Holness turning a blind eye to. It's a part of Andrew Holness irresponsible governance. Why we endure what we're enduring this flash flood and on him fall rain? But when we elect government to make sure say, there are certain things that they maintain and upkeep. Maintain and upkeep. In Andrew Holness's case, when it comes to the National Works Agency, as him same one come in front of we, come declare it a national emergency, then Andrew Holness have to be held accountable when, because of the failure of his road, drain, and gully maintenance, we have this excessive flash flood because the water don't have nowhere to go. It's not rocket science. You don't have to go up in a space to go learn it. It is just natural. It is just natural. So we have to hold Andrew Holness accountable for that. Like with the Jamar Ferguson situation, I don't see where Jamaicans see, or them see it, but I don't see where Jamaicans are taking the risk to life from the flash flood as something urgent and worrying, especially for those of us who live on low-lying flood-prone areas. I come from one of those areas where we live between this, in the middle of this, between the sea and the pond. So weather like them here, weather extra devastating to a section of my community. It still goes back to the drain and gully problem, because sewage drain, parish council allow them developers to build upon it and block up with drain. And the people them have to go in a burial, go dig and cut drain in a new direction. This is happening right across the country. Things like these are happening right across the country. And I don't see where we're taking these serious risks to life important. Because me don't know if Jamaicans see it as something very, very risky, something that should alarm us Jamaicans to see that within hours, within hours, Jamaica, within minutes, not even say hours, within minutes, we can be blocked in by water. Within minutes, we can have nowhere to turn. Within minutes, we can have no tree or house top to climb Jamaica. You've seen it. You're there. What we are sitting on camera, we don't have the normal, the raw experience. And I don't think we're treating these things with the seriousness that they deserve. Because when you look upon the flood across the several parishes in Jamaica, you see how quick, how much of us can lose our life. Imagine with them drilling, we get a tsunami. You understand the seriousness? And this is why it irritates me when this hypocrite, this con man of a prime minister we have keep trumpeting the climate change argument. Because Andrew Holness is not interested, nor is he serious when you hear Andrew go upon the climate uh, change rant. Nothing don't go so. Because we've seen this very government breach the environmental rules many times. We see this government give out drilling license without the proper assessment of how things will affect us and our environment. We see this government beyond NEPA advice want to drill in the cockpit country. We see this government allow river to be polluted, and this same government pull cases out of court. Yet it's the same government who don't have a dime to contribute. This same government who doesn't have a dime to contribute is going to the United Nations and run up a mouth about climate change and war and gang. When every other leaders cannot speak about the development in our region, and Andrew Holness, the chair of CARICOM, cannot open a mouth. And nobody now asks why Andrew so silent. But if you look how we are going between Trump and the Colombian president, it tell you why Andrew is so silent. Andrew Holness not going to criticize Israel. Andrew Holness is not going to call out Donald Trump criminal activities in our region, because to say Andrew Holness don't want to put his visa at risk. You see the Colombian president call for an investigation on Trump's illegality. Instant on how you do? Call for an investigation on Trump's illegality. You know, say Trump withdrawing visa or something of the sort. And pull up here and look, I can't see it so good on the screen. You know, say Trump Trump revoke in visa. So this is what Andrew Holness now put at risk. So much countries, when they in the United Nations, and then for vote where they for Mahmoud Abbas speak by video link because America deny him Mahmoud Abbas visa for come at the UN. Andrew Holness and Kamina Johnson weren't nowhere to be seen. So Andrew Holness now lead because I'm sure most Jamaicans are against the genocide being committed in Gaza. And Andrew Holness is leading in his interest because when Andrew Holness for vote in Jamaica's interest or on behalf of Jamaica, Andrew Holness takes side with Israel and America. It's not the first they did it. They did it in the UN last year as well. You know the leaders who Netanyahu and him Mossad group don't have secret for. When you listen to the strong voice of Mia Motley, as opposed to the strong man in Jamaica who is cheering CARICOM at the moment, have no voice in front of the world. The only voice Andrew Holness have is a begging bowl voice because the same prime minister we're going to call for global assault and gang, the same Portimouth prime minister we're call for tackling climate change. Jamaica have fuck all to beg your pardon to assist because at the same breath, Andrew Holness is calling for an urgent reform of the world multilateral system so small countries, including his own island nation, can benefit from specific financial streams. Jamaica has achieved, hold on. Why this thing coming on my way? Oh, God. Sorry, my peeps. Murder, She Wrote. Let me find back what I read. What am I reading? What am I reading? Murder, She Wrote. Hold on. Yes. Jamaica has achieved economic growth, moving our debt ratio 62% of gross national product, but we are still locked out of concessionary financing, the Prime Minister noted yesterday as he addressed the United Nations General Assembly. So where I go get, Prime Minister? The global assault where I call for upon gangs, what do you have to contribute to that? Your grandiose climate change initiative that when you go upon international scene, you back over, that you have no respect for the environment at home, Prime Minister. The entire Jamaica knows they are hypocrite, you know. Even the labor rights, them we don't want to say it. They know you're a hypocrite. It's just last year you pulled 2 cases out of court to do with river pollution from the top 21 people in our country. Island girl, how you do? So I don't understand why you fail to deal with the issues at hand, but you got the UN attack blatant stupidity. And in relation to the gang Prime Minister, apart from what Jamaica has to contribute or can contribute, dance I had, no? Idiot boy. Dance a yard. Because to say, you must be able to show people so you can do it at home. Not what you're doing now, though. Not the killing of innocent young men in the name of bringing down the crime figures. No, that's not that's not what we're talking about. A crime policy where we can say this is the crime policy backed up by their strategy, which them I use. All we can point at the moment is the wanton extrajudicial killing. And that's not a crime policy. What we have from Andrew Holness and the security services is lawlessness. Because even you notice in the Gleaner, it came out. Keith Clark, you know, the businessman who was murdered by JCF and JDF in their quest for dodos. The family is taking a lawsuit that the police acted on fraudulent intelligence. Now, can you say these people are lying? Max, how you know? Can you say these people are lying when we have a situation in front of us as Jamar's story? When we are learning that our security services act on what we can say is fraudulent or illegal warrants because they don't have the requisite details before them enter people's house. Never heard of a warrant with just a street name. Never heard of a warrant with just a source of street name. So this thing is have a lot of broad tentacles to it. The justice of the peace are implicated. The police are implicated. The sordid, reckless words of the government, all of them implicated in this murder. So how Andrew Holness I got tackle gang issue on a global scale when him can't do it at home? Because this crime, this murder where you say Andrew Segando, me not say in some ways it not gone down, but the way Andrew Holness is recording the figures, or the way the JCF is recording the figures, a lot of people who get murdered are not lumped into the system, or it takes an awful long time for them to come to conclusion as to the cause of death. So thereby, we don't have a correct figure. Given also that the police illegal activities are not recorded in those figures as well. Because the police, them really has been found wanting. It's not my job or anybody's job to sit down and make up excuse for the police. My job is to accept that what we have seen, what we have come to understand, it is the norm of how our police officers behave and carry out these deadly operations. And it is why Keith Clark family are suing them, because them claim that the search warrant was fraudulent. Indicom and JCF basically at loggerheads over what is going on, because the death, the shooting by police is coming thick and fast. Andrew Holness's and Horace Strong crime fighting strategy don't seem to involve arresting people and putting them in front of the courts anymore. It don't seem to involve that. So what they are doing is piling an awful lot of work on an already under-resourced, under-financed Indicom. What is ironic about the whole of the falling out, coming out of Jamar's murder, is that JCF now come tell we them have a fleet of body camera. Them a come out, come clarify story, and them have a fleet of procurement of body camera to come within weeks, and they are prepared to wear them. Shouldn't bring with this far, because we have been for quite some time now advocating on that issue, because there are always a major discrepancy when it comes to police operation and activity versus the public. The body cam will provide the evidence when things like this goes wrong. What the body cam also does, it's restrain. If when implemented, it is being policed by the hierarchies to make sure that whenever there is any altercation, any contact with the public, and your body cam is not on, then there are violations. You're in some violation for that. In order to make sure, so the police officer them don't abuse the body cam. Also, we make sure that them engage at all, when they engage with the public at all time, them body cam on. What that will do is to restrain the behavior of how we see our police officers behave to people in public in our country who are their mothers, fathers, and grandparents. Those are some of the things that the camera will allow. Some of the things that the camera will suppress, if used correctly, is the extortion. The extortion of money from the public, especially motorists. So the body-worn camera is a way to draw with police them in line as well. To make sure that we police them carry out them job professionally and not like the hog and dog way where they approach with and in a them policing activity. So as well as providing information and evidence when such a scenario happens, it's a way to keep police officers in line as well. Because when they have to turn on their body cam and know that their behavior is being recorded at the moment, and you can request that for a court proceedings, those things draw them in line. But then again, you have to have proper implementation and enforcement by their hierarchy to make sure the violations don't go on. Well, this is how good the economy is in a ladybug. This is how good the economy is because we can go afford 1,000 body cam, and this conversation are going from about 2014 onwards, or about so on. We cannot, we can only afford to buy 1,000, but we can afford to pay a $700 million salary per year. That's what good economic management means. That's what you call fiscal prudence. Hmm? That's what you call fiscal prudence. When you pay the executive 700 million per year and you cannot purchase 14,000, you cannot purchase 14 or say even 7,000, half of the fleet that you have, Jankro, not even to cover half of the fleet. Let's say we have 14,000 police officers. We have 14,000 police officers, and we could only buy 1,000. 1,000, you know. We could even say, all right, we could buy 10, we could buy 5,000 or 7,000. Up to where me hear Marco Rubio promise them money. And if a money Marco Rubio will give them for the body cam, or a body cam Marco Rubio will give them. The problem is, it's not that we cannot afford it. It's not that it's going to be difficult to set up in this country unlike any other country. No. All of these little ningy that Dr. Chang is going on about, nothing don't go so. What the pushback is about is the corruption, extortion, and criminality committed by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in their day-to-day duty. Not all of them, but we know it's a common theme. That is one, in my opinion, that is one of the major pushback when it comes to the body-worn camera, because there is something with them at all time to hold them to account. So a lot of the lawlessness, a lot of the extortion, a lot of the bribery, a lot of the corruption will have to be toned down if this thing is being implemented properly. Because you, the public, once you interact with them, you have a duty to tell them, can you make sure your body cam is on, please? And if it's not on, that ought to be a violation. And the ones who pull the trigger will take. Exactly. So there's a lot of benefit to the body worn camera. If we are called fearless, corrupt police force, these are some of the things that the body worn cam can help us to do. We're not saying it's a corruption alleviation. What this will do, it will tame down a lot of the loose and lawless behaviors that come from the constabulary forces. Because when them know say, took, me not have no, me listen, English me talk, English and Patois me talk, I'm sure you can understand the two of them. We don't always pick out one thing where people say, one of them don't listen good. One, yeah. When we talk about the police, we can talk about it as a collective. You understand? We don't know about you, but we can talk about the police as a collective. The Jamaica Constabulary Force overall is a corrupt institution. Is a corrupt institution. They are well known for that. The fact that everybody in them are corrupt don't mean we cannot generalize when we are talking about the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It's why most of them most of us don't feel like interacting with them. Most of us don't feel like sharing information with them. A lot of us don't even feel it's worth reporting crimes to them or giving intelligence to them. So overall, we know we are dealing with a corrupt police force. So me not have to separate them and say the corrupt one and the ones not so corrupt. It's a collective corrupt force. Collectively, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is corrupt from top down. The Minister of National Security is an illegal gun smuggler. You can't want worse than that. The Minister of National Security is a gangster. The brown uniform police them across the country is a bunch of corrupt criminals. So when we talk about the Jamaica Constabulary Force, I'm generalizing. If there are good ones in there, tell them to fight to clean up the bad ones. Or them step aside and make the source of bad one, them stay there. But until then, it is the entire Jamaica Constabulary Force. 23 in Jamar's case. None of the 23 officers who was there tried to save his life. All 23 officers assisted, colluded with the killing, and tampered the evidence and lied about it. I don't see any Jamaica police officer walking around with anything right in a them forehead that they're not corrupt. It is my duty to hold all of them corrupt based on the track record of the entire force. Based on the track record of the entire force, it is my job to call the entire fleet corrupt. If there are good ones there, let them come out and identify themselves. Let them come out and fight against what is oppressing them, or they step aside. But when 23 police officers and not one decide to be a human. Not one decide to be honest, just, and true. Not one decide to have the feelings or emotion of a parent. You don't want me to come say, oh, some police are corrupt and some are. Me don't know no police when a corrupt lady or sir. I don't know them. I'm not saying they don't exist. But and if you speak to many Jamaicans, don't know them. Let us look at Andrew Westmoreland flood, because there's different section of the country being flooded, But this is Andrew's Westmoreland flood. Because it's Andrew's flood. Because the recklessness of Andrew Holness in the last 10 years, when it comes to our drain and gully,
I am here
then
in Russia.
you have to apportion blame to leadership, especially that the agency with responsibility for the maintenance and upkeep, or let me say, local government, not just Andrew Holness, who runs the National Works Agency, all 14 parish council, JLP or PNP run, is also culpable when it comes to this flood as well. Because for a certain amount, local government also have responsibility for drain and gullies as well as the National Works Agency. So as well as Andrew Holness, all 14 parish council across the country is culpable for these flooding, because they have failed. They have failed to do their job, both at central and local government. Both sides of the political kind have failed. And this is why flash flooding in Jamaica is getting worse and worse.
I am here in Russia, Savannah Lamar, where, as you can see, it's flood waters. You can't differentiate the road from the houses, and the residents are telling TVJ that they are frustrated.
It's terrible. Usually it rains and we don't have a problem, but for the past 8 years, the drain here it has not been cleaned. So as soon as there's a little, even if it's a little bit of rain, the water comes in now into the house. It goes through pipes or whatever. Climb over. Even I built this wall right here at your foot. I built this wall, and when the rain falls, the water go
Top
over
of
it.
the screen,
It
please.
has withdrawn now by a lot.
Now, this is a motorist here, and this is how she is maneuvering her bike to see how best she can get into the town of Savannah Lamar. Over here, we have a resident walking into his yard there. It is just chaos here in Savannah Lamar. And it's not only the community of Russia, but we also visited Seton Crescent, where one resident, an elderly resident, said that is crying out for help.
Well, I have to stay inside. I can't come outside. Well, it started like couple weeks, rain on and off, but never got this right. It always stopped there. So last night really, is the first I noticed the whole place flooded. So I couldn't do anything but wait until this morning when the water decided. Then I wiped the place up and clean up everything.
We also caught up with Councillor for the division, Julian Chang.
This is a disaster here in Savlamar. The drains, every single drain has been overflooded. People have lost their chickens, livestock, goats. There's even crocodiles here. There are crocodiles here on the road, in the drains right now. We do not know the difference between the road and the drains right now in Savlamar. I've asked the mayor on several occasions to do something.
Lady, before a drain can be flooded, lady, before a drain can be flooded, it first would have to be blocked. So don't come out here with a left hand talking. How we turn it round on the right hand. Don't come tell we say the drain flooded. Tell we say the drain block. Because a blockage causes flooding when it comes to drain. So don't come out here with your left hand talking. Talk it on your right hand side.
I noticed the whole place flooded. So I couldn't do anything but wait until this morning when the water decided, then I wiped the place up and clean up everything.
We also caught up with Councillor for the division, Julian Chang.
This is a disaster here in Savlamar. The drains, every single drain has been overflooded. People have lost their chickens, livestock, goats. There's even crocodiles here.
Right. This is where you, the people, comes into this. You, the litter bugs, Jamaicans. Can't all litter bug, you know. When you just throw things out on a car, so. When you just throw things in a river, gully, and in a sea, so. It's the consequences of your nastiness or careless or recklessness, Jamaica. The way how you have littered your country with plastic bottles and paper bottles. The way you have littered your shoreline, Jamaica. So it's a whole lot of failures coming together. Failure of central government to provide the adequate funding and make sure the necessary maintenance work is being carried out. A failure of local government to use local government budget to do the necessary work. And failure of you, the nasty little bugs of Jamaica, who walk and drop things everywhere, who pack up on a rubbish, and rather than care go put down on a politician door, wanna dump it in a gully. If someone there carry rubbish go drop out on a politician gate, they would make sure that your rubbish are being collected. And your rubbish are not being collected, but you don't have a voice. But make them call election tomorrow. All on ready to come out because at least for the campaign, we're not going to get a 2-piece chicken. And also I go. Or me just make it up. As we just watched you all the other day, didn't we? We did a watch on. I hit McQueen to the Prime Minister low unemployment figure is a lie. Because the amount town where at the time to turn up for the fuckery. Employer couldn't give so much on. Time off. Employer couldn't give so much on time off if unemployment rate figure was so low. So even nomination day and the political campaign expose Andrew Holness unemployment figure. But then again, when I say Andrew Holness, he might do enough things, man. He might go on good. I want to see the Prime Minister's road. I want to see the result of Spark and Reach after the flood done. I want to see what is left of Spark and Reach. That's why I don't want nothing. Because this is someone done a Pernell Charles office demonstrate. Why should Colonel Charles give one a light? Ask yourself the question and answer it for yourself. Why should Colonel Charles go no light? If una never tell Colonel Charles, say, make we see the light before election, or make we see the water before election, and then we will vote for you. Your vote already. Him get what he want. He got what he wanted. Wanna stress the man for? Hmm? Uno Jamaica people don't ask for anything when the silly season come around. Other than the $5,000 and the piece of chicken where when you tear off the piece of crispy skin off of it, the rest of it underneath raw and bloody and cold. That's what I prioritize. Not demanding from a politician. We have been waiting for this forever. And if me see it get done before the election, me will vote. Barring that, me not vote. No, only no play politics their way there. Only just vote for promise. Only just vote for promise. If go, if you do them business pan promise, you think go wouldn't have nothing Jamaicans? So if go nah work pan promise, why for so much decades we depend the same promise of roads and water from both Labour and PNP, and to date we have not seen it. And we just vote for the same road and water. We're not tired. Talk to Jamaicans. We're not tired and we don't feel mad. We're not feel mad because it's only mad people voted on the same promise every 4 years. It's the same road and water. Every 4 years or every 5 years or every local government cycle is the same thing, road and water. But what you're concerned about is KFC and donuts, isn't it? You ever wonder why Andrew Holness so strong and powerful? You ever wonder why Andrew Holness talk to you in a hooligan way? We want to notice Andrew Holness on the international stage, him talk to people like him a talk to human. But when him a talk to Uno, Andrew Holness galang like a living tyrant and a virago. How much of you are going to now see that take no time for wanna lose everything we wanna have or lose on a life? Which one I know go hold on a political leaders accountable to do the minimum, like clean on the drains and gullies, provide on a road and water? Which one I know? Let me say this to you, Jamaicans. You see them car owner invest in her? My advice is to invest in boat and engine. They might just come handy. Boat and engine, Jamaica, might just come handy. That might save your life. You see how they carry them with the force of water become paper. The cars with the force of water just a sail like a paper. So my advice, invest in a boat. Invest in a boat. Hold on, the TikTok let me authenticate this. Why is this thing playing me about this night, dear God? Yes, TikTok live back now. Me would advise you to buy a boat and engine because to say car and house not do it anymore when it come to the weather. You may can use a boat to escape, but in the flash flood and how we see certain things go on, we know say it can go terrible at any given point. Any
You see around share them this. No me see, but people say they see around share this morning. Oh, I catch one an idea, chop off into you.
at any given point, you can have a lot of people losing, forget the properties, losing their life. Look at what just hours of rain has done to section of the island. That should raise your political consciousness to say, boy, we have to go start holding people to account. We have to go start make sure, say, at least they do the bare minimums that keep us safe. Cleaning your drains and gullies is the bare minimum to minimize the effect of flash flood. Provide space for the water going about in business. So the water not have to come out of the gully and take to the roadways. Or even if it take to the roadways, not in the roaring rivers that we have seen because say the gully them black. And we have elected a fleet in local government last year. We have elected Andrew Holness fleet now for 3 terms. And nothing has been done to our drain and gullies. If you listen to some of the people, them might tell you, say, at 8 or 9 year now, we're gully not clean.
You see around share them this. No me see, but people say they see around share this morning. Oh, I catch one an idea, chop off into you. Oh, Nepa. Oh, shit, Nepa. Never mind, Nepa. Lie we are tell. I do crocodile and nothing, Nepa. Catch you jerking. Mike, you call it with my so I want the crocodile and make a jerking. Shbel, you carry on, Shbel? You don't like your style, you don't like your style, you.
You know, right now, you just want to come out that water when ready yet.
People, remember, you know, people, we still hungry, you know. We still have beguni, the tin mackerel and the flour, you know, people. We have banana, we have yam already.
No, I look on this. I serve this man, 24. That's a 24. I serve this.
Westmoreland, Russia.
Westmoreland, Russia.
Salt Spring.
You can't tell that about it. Westmoreland, Russia. How trouble them?
Yes,
yeah,
people they say.
Pisky man.
People, they can't send me money gun.
Yeah, man, we see enough crab, man, but they only want to figure out the crab them.
They can't send me money gun.
Rain for last night, run 12 o'clock, rain for go straight back at 5 o'clock. But see, like, it's gonna come out now.
I know I see how deep the river is.
Biscuit man saying go turn up in the river right now if you send up some give top up the street. Lion, I say, right now, if a lion, Biscuit man jump in the river right now.
When you have proper drainage system, water not sit down pan road so long. We must put our politicians to work, Jamaica. Otherwise, a lot of you all are going to lose your lives because of yours and your political leaders' recklessness. We cannot continue to elect politicians to do nothing. So far, we're not getting what we bargained for from them. And let us bring some highlight to the Jamar story by running these videos again, because we're not like mainstream media where we're going to bury this story. This story, which is of public importance, this story that has a lot of public interest to it, the story that the government and the opposition is silent on, the story that the media and the security service is silent on. We won't be silent because our lives is at risk by a rogue state operating as a full-blown dictator. So we have to bawl out and call for Lord God Almighty when we see the atrocities of this government. So not because mainstream media bury this story, we're not going to join in with them to bury any story. Bear with us. Let me refresh my screen. Bear with.
This now viral video shows the now deceased Jamar Farquharson opening the door to his dwelling in Cherry Lane, Clarendon, minutes to 3 p.m. Monday, September 15. The concern for relatives is what happened before and or after this apparent surrender that would cause the 22-year-old mixologist to be killed by police. A request to the JSA for the official report on the fatal shooting has gone unanswered. But CCTV footage obtained by CVM News from 2:34 up to 3 p.m. gives us a timeline of the events. The first video was captured at 2:34 p.m. Jamar arrives home from work. His housemate, who also works with him, confirmed this with CVM News. He's eating a patty and makes his way upstairs to his room. At 2:38 p.m., he takes off his shirt and walks to his room. He stays there until 2:56 p.m. when he sees the police arrive at the gate. He runs with his phone to let them inside. He was home alone. This is where the plot develops. From this video, we know Jamar is outside. 2:57 to 2:58 p.m., police enter and search the entire building. The cameras don't show it, but they forced their way into 4 other rooms other than Jamar's. When we visited, we were shown the damage to each door. In fact, this door was badly damaged. No one else was there. Then they turned this camera sideways. But it continues recording on a cloud. They unplugged the internet at 3:31 p.m. But the camera downstairs continued recording before the police disconnected the internet and captured several of the team members walking in and out, stopping and checking behind chairs, conversing with each other, even talking on the phone. In this video alone, we count at least 10 policemen and women in conversation while Jamar is outside. The last video was recorded at 3:31 p.m. The other tenant says the internet was disconnected and his 3 cameras upstairs taken by police. He brought us to the room and showed us what appeared to be bullet holes in the wall where Jamar was reportedly shot. Bloodstains were still present. Indicom has all the footage seen by CVM News and is investigating. The other tenant has since moved out in fear, telling CVM News the police have circled the area every day since the shooting. Residents staged a protest on Saturday demanding answers. Jamar's aunt, who raised him, also wants answers.
It don't take a rocket science to know that you have to have a search warrant. Whose name is on the search warrant?
Giovanni Dennis.
And the patsy of a commissioner of police only acknowledged the story because he was agitated or irritated by something said by the
See the
income
people.
assistant commissioner. And only in one paragraph, Kevin Blake made mention of Jamar Ferguson. Without Indicom's statement that rubbed Kevin in the wrong direction, like the rest of them, Mark Golden, Andrew Holness, Peter Bunting, Horace Chang, like all of them who are in silence, Kevin Blake himself would have been in silence as well.
See the people. It is concerning that the courts and justices of the peace are issuing these warrants with sometimes just the name of the road. Other warrants have the correct or more full details of a house, name or a number, etc. This particular one just has Cherry Tree Lane. So apparently, the police officers that unalive Jamar, the warrant that they are now showing has no address on it, no name on it. So it seems they got an warrant, but this warrant just says Cherry Tree Lane. So what wanna do? Just choose the nicest house on the block. Choose a house where wanna say look like somebody might be in there. What was the thought process of these police officers? Something must be done. See it there? No lie not tell. Amish Campbell, the Deputy Commissioner of Police for Indicom. You understand me? And then a lot of people coming on my post with negativity and talking about this and talking about that and not holding the Prime Minister or the opposition leader accountable to coming forward and saying something. When you're the leader of a country, when things like these happen, you should voice your opinion. Even to come and say condolences to the family and we're doing investigation until further notice. You understand me? Even allow your minister to say something, your minister of security. Nothing is being said. Come on, Jamaica, man. This can't continue. A lot of innocent people are dying. Come on, Jamaica.
How much of the almost 230 young men, how much, Abina, you come on, we just had done one. How much of the almost 230 young men murdered in cold blood by the Jamaica Constabulary Force? How much can we say their killing was warranted? We have no evidence to go on. The only evidence we have to go on is the evidence that we have so far in Jamar's case. And what that evidence points to, if we're to use it as an overall picture, is that all 200 and odd young men were murdered brutally and innocently. We don't have any information to suggest otherwise, isn't it? We have not been provided anything by the security services or the government who is operating a shoot-to-kill policy. The only evidence we have to go on is what we're working on in Jamar's case. And if the police officers went at such length, 23 of them, to kill one young man and to turn around and conceal the evidence tampered with the crime scene, then we have to use the same chalk line withdraw and reach to the other one them. So I'm of the view, don't know how much of you, that all 200 and odd young men killed by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in the last 9 months were innocent. Were innocent. Because we do not live in a system where a police officer becomes the judge, jury, and executioner. So for the Prime Minister and his people who are running around with the judge and maker policy, you all are guilty of murder. All of you who are supporting the government shoot to kill judge and maker, judge or maker policy, jeep back our Checha policy. You're all murderers. You're all guilty of shooting down people's children without a reason, a cause, or providing any satisfactory evidence to say this was warranted. Because if the story is as the same in Jamar, that he drew a weapon at us, he fired at us, how can we believe the same story in other cases are true? All I know, a murderer. All of you who support this policy, like the 23 police officer, the commissioner of police, the minister of national security, and the prime minister, all of you are guilty of the murder of these young men. All of you. We should stop this thing, Jamaica, before it gets to everybody's door. We ought to question this crime policy by the government. We ought to question the ruthless activities of the police in the government pursuit of bringing down crime. Going around killing people's innocent children ain't gonna bring the police and the communities any closer. Ain't gonna allow the community to assist the police in crime fighting. What comes out or is coming out of Jamar's case is that the distrust for the police is deepening. That cannot be good for crime fighting, no. That cannot be good for crime fighting. The mindset, though, of our people is one of the biggest dangers standing in our way. Our mindset. We cater to things that doesn't uplift us or that does not benefit us. I mean, look how much of us will come out for, I don't want to cuss tonight. Look how much will come out for politics. Look how we come out for the useless politics. We from 1980 to now have not delivered for us who come out for them every cycle. They have not delivered for us. If you want to know that they haven't delivered, look at your road and water. Those are the bare minimum. And those are the promise for every election cycle. Look how much of you was engaged. No matter the amount of abuse you get from the state or the government, when you don't react to that, the more abuse, the more state abuse you get, you draw into silence. And as the same old thieving, wicked, corrupt politician them want to support, you come out and support them. You don't want nothing Jamaicans. Talk truth. Uno not say by now, so Uno don't want anything. Because Uno are the biggest contributor to Uno destruction. Jamaicans, you are the biggest contributor to your destruction. Just look at how we use our popularity across social media. We have the disgrace. When it comes to social media disgrace, we do it better than everybody else. I mean, everybody else will have to come to our school when it comes to social media disgrace. We use social media, majority of us, for negative influence. We don't use it to uplift ourselves. We don't use it to educate each other. We don't use it to hold our politicians to account. We only use it to defend them, to do harm to us, like literally, to do harm. The amount of money they steal from your public purse couldn't stop our young men from getting involved in crime because it could provide an opportunity for them. Still goes back to you, the people of Jamaica, who are willing to sell your vote for $5,000, who are willing to be coerced with a two-piece chicken. Jamaica people, when una go get it? When una go get it? Me not understand the psyche way. But I mean, I vote if they don't give me a thing, you know. But you take the thing, the $5,000, you take it and you vote, and then that $5,000 done within 5 hours, and then for the next 5 years, you're in the same situation. The mindset, the buggling Jamaicans, that mindset of transacting your vote for 5,000 Jamaican dollar. We can't carry your own tone, fair day. It cannot carry around your local town, fair day, as pocket money. But you're willing to give up your future, your children's future, and your grandchildren's future. You understand how hard it is to quarrel with Jamaicans? Do you understand how hard of a mindset it is one exist in a argue with? Because when we sell the vote for $5,000, you know, and then tomorrow morning a turn round and a demonstrate for water or light, we go so. And then the next day come complain, oh, we're gonna have to pay them $700 million a year. So what? You don't think Andrew and them thief them want money too? What you think them come out politics for? There are some qualifying characteristics for politics. You must be a liar, a thief, and a corrupt individual. So if you not take them in there and let them loose in there, what do you expect? When they raise their salary by 300%, you never know, so the bill for the country are go big. Even if I did Andrew want to run the country, they go cost with all heap. I will pay for. I want to market. I want to take up Andrew and the executive team put in on a shopping bag. What you cannot pay for at the cashier, you put it out. You couldn't pay for Andrew Holness and his team because you bring them home. Didn't you know? So don't come out here and complain. Pay the people them their money. It's a Nyama food society. And Andrew said to them, say, may I go make some man who when a Nyam food in the last 10 years, get a Nyam half of the food too. And uno alone when I want food, Jamaica people. Uno want the quick buck. Uno want the quick meal. Andrew Holness and his team are look for the long term. So leave the man alone. Make him pay him people them at least not thief him a thief this time. Him a legitimately pay them, you know. And not thief them a thief. Andrew Everett Warmington. Everett Warmington. You know, so then take you out of the money pile. You know, so then take you out of the money pile, Everett Warmington. Come on now, man. You have been a suspense out here too long. Today is Sunday. Big news shouldn't break for we have to talk about for the whole week. But we is still that grown. But don't complain over Andrew Holness $700 million executive salary. Stop hold the horse still. The horse gone through the gate already. The Prime Minister win the election rather than buy thief or fraudy. The Prime Minister raised the salary. So obviously, them are go get it. You understand? What we have do is stop vote in a politician interest. That enough to learn to do. Do less complain in Jamaica. We don't complain too much. And when the time come for you to do the right thing, or do the thing we suit on a belly. Stop coming in front of people complain. When you not had a chance and refuse to do something. All right? Thank you everyone for being here. Remember, we're not on tomorrow morning because we have a cardiologist appointment, but we are back on tomorrow evening. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support as always. And if you're new to the program, please give us a follow on whatever platform you're on. So when we go live, you will get your notification. And don't forget to continue the conversation in the comment. Thank you very much. Lovely to have your support as always. And see you all tomorrow evening. Thank you and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rob and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man show one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and Joe and Stone. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big man, Joe and Stone. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman, Joe and Stone. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.